I'm expecting the price of Diamond Bank to continually decline, but it's like Diamond Bank
It's
is
making a
resisting.
comeback.
Because I can see so far so good today, it has gained 6.67%.
There is a way the market thinks. The market does not think as we are thinking. Don't forget that Diamond Bank will be coming from 2 naira. So getting close to 1 naira, the market may say that is at this price that is cheap. And if there's a demand for it, they can make it to each up. I think that's what is happening to Diamond Bank.
Right. And okay, except the Williams percentage that is telling us as at Friday that Diamond Bank was at an oversold level. But MFI is still looking down, and some other indicators also are not looking good for Diamond Bank. For what I can see here, I can tell that this price increase, to the best of my knowledge of equity analysis, is not sustainable. What is the risk in anyone seeing the price performance now of Diamond Bank and attempting to jump into it? Aruna.
I think before you do just say that because of a price of a stock is going up, you go and jump into it. You do your analysis. You look at both technical, just like what your technical analysis is telling you, and you do fundamental analysis. If all those analyses tell you not to buy that, there's no reason going into it, because if you enter at the price that is trading now, how much do you want to exit?
And that is Diamond Bank. FCMB is yet to release its third quarter result, because they said that the third quarter result is going to be audited. It rarely happens in the market, and so because of that, there's going to be delay. But what is the market generally expecting from FCMB?
You know, whenever if a PLC is auditing its result, especially quarterly, the market will believe that maybe they want to do an interim. But actually, it's not. People are not actually too optimistic about it in FCMB. But we are just waiting patiently to see exactly what they are going to come out with. At times, it's better to do quarter 3, because by the time you do quarter 3, it means that coming out with quarter 4 will be much, much easier. Because what they need to audit is only that the last quarter of the year.
Just the last 3 months.
Just the last 3 months
of the year. I could still say equities like Nestle. I'm very sure that those that will be dwelling in Nestle will be institutional investors. But I can see Nestle, though, is just 1.47% growth. So far, so good today. So what do you have to say about that?
20 naira interim dividend from Nestle, except you are just relating it to the price. I think, to me, it's massive. Especially for those that have taken position in Nestle before now. I remember when I was doing my OLE at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Nestle was 400 naira. Somebody that have taken position in Nestle at 400 naira and they are paid 20 naira. I think it's massive.
You are talking about someone that bought at 400 naira. I interviewed Mrs. Bola Akinyemi last week. We used it on the radio, if I'm not mistaken. Was it last week, Tuesday? She bought Nestle at around, if I'm not mistaken now, was it 1 naira 70 kobo or thereabout? And so that is when we talk about the beauty of equity investment. So she bought, and she said up till now she has not sold most of those Nestle. Of course, they don't give bonus, but the price appreciation alone, there is a level to which the price of a stock will get to, that the possibility of it touching a previous price becomes extremely low, which is what Nestle is currently showing us. I doubt if there is ever going to be a time in the market that we would see the price of Nestle at anything below 10 naira. I could still recall when it got to 100 naira. It was actually the first equity to touch that. That was 1997. It was as if the price was too high. But thereafter, I know that it came down to as low as 18 naira plus or minus. But subsequently, even when the market crashed in 2008, Nestle came down from 300 naira to about 120 or 100 naira or thereabout, and it recovered. And now we can say what is happening. So what do you think the performance of Nestle has taught us or is teaching us about the strategy investing in equity?
That is where fundamental comes in. Because if you look at what is making Nestle Nestle, it's because of the array of its product. In fact, I normally tell people that even you, as you are coming out from your house this morning, you would have used one product from Nestle. Even while you were going to sleep last night, you would have used a product from Nestle. So if everybody is buying from Nestle, why would they not make profit? Why would the price not appreciate? So it's a matter of sitting down, analyze the stock, and find out that yes, they have good for them. We have always said it in this program. Look for a stock that is fundamentally sound and keep your investment there. I will not make mistake.
The truth of the matter is that you can see the true value of equities over the long term. That is one. Number two, a good company will always generate a good stock. So what he has said is very simple, that Nestle is a good company, and so it has generated a good stock. So all you need to do when you are investing in stock is to look for the stock of a good company to buy. I was discussing with someone just last week, and she was talking about say and I leasing. We will still talk about say and I leasing because the idea is to look at the best stocks between January and October 2018. There is no platform that has done that, and we'll be showing you what makes these equities actually the best. We have it in slide, and we're talking about C and I leasing and trading in stocks and investing in stocks. And one thing that I do is very simple. And let me tell you what it is. I trade stocks. I buy today, in another 1 or 2 weeks, I sell. But I don't trade the stock of nonsense companies. Most people will not bother to look at the company that is behind the stock they are trading at any point in time. That is a deadly strategy. See, the way investment works is this. Invest first in a good company. Then you can decide to do short term or medium term or whatever term. Why do you need to do that? You might buy a stock for 5 naira, hoping to sell in the next probably 2 months at 7 naira, making probably 40 or above gains. But it can happen in the stock market that the price will not go as anticipated. In other words, the price, instead of going from 5 naira to 7 naira, might actually come to 4 naira. And then there arises the question, what will you be doing? Will you be selling at a loss? Will you be holding on? Will you be buying more? That is where the risk strategy is. When you have found a good stock, which is the stock of a good company, if you bought for like say 5 naira, expecting the price to move immediately to 7 naira, and that does not happen, and the price comes to 4 naira, you might decide to hold. If the price comes down further, you might decide to buy more, reduce the per unit cost, because over time, that same equity will get back to 5 naira. It might take a while, but it will. That is the way things work in the stock market. A case study, that of Nestle we're talking about, Guarantee, Nigerian Breweries, Guinness, and quite a lot others on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So having said this, Aruna, let us go to see some of those equities that led the market between January to October of 2018. And I have them here on the in the system, as you can see. Now, looking at this first slide, you could see about the first 6, 7, 8 of them. CCNN, then CNI Leasing, NEM, Eternal, Sterling Bank, Caverton, Unity Bank, AICO, Fitson. These are the ones I decided to capture. All right, Aruna, looking at this, there is no big name here. Those that you can call the heavyweights in the market, they are not among the first 5. They are not among the first 10 in the market between January and October of 2018. Why do you think this?
It just showed us the type of market that we have these days. I will call it an inverse market. We saw in Q2 when big names were releasing their results, they were paying interim dividend. Instead of the stocks going up, they were coming down. Yeah. And it also shows that bargain hunters and a lot of people that fight looking for where to take profit are actually not in most of the stocks. Because if it is Zenith that it has gained 5%, they will short sell. If it's a guarantee that have gained 10%, they will short sell. If it's a Dangote Cement have gained 5%, they will short sell. The number of people that are here, let me just say that we have more investors in this stock than speculators.
I guess you are making a lot of sense. Maybe I should say it in my own way, that we have more of Nigerian local investors in these equities than foreign investors, and most probably also institutional investors. So as we speak now, CCNN, but we will still later come and look at some of these specific equities, how they were able to achieve this feat, and what should be done. What should be done includes, should we still say, because of what we can see in these equities, we should invest in them, or we should just allow them to go. But let's come to what the market is doing right now. I can see improvement in the Ultra Index of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. As we speak now, it has gained another 0.1%. The last time we saw it, it was 0.14%. As we speak, it has grown to become 0.15%. It suggests that the market is still upbeat, right?
Yes.
But the gainers are yet to change. All right. They still include 40 Oil leading, then Diamond Bank, and then NACO. Why do you think NACO should be moving?
I think the story behind NACO has been that a strategic investor came in at the price of 6 naira.
All right. And
the market believed that it has a value. The person has seen a value in it. So if it's positioned, I think that stock was doing about 3 naira 75 kobo when that deal was done. So he's believing that the difference between the 6 naira and the 375 kobo is the value. So the market may not allow it to go lower than that.
All right, but what the institutional investor has seen that precipitated that investment would definitely be different from what retail investors like me.
Yeah, and sometimes the increase in the price between 375 and 6 naira may take time, but a number of people want to be there while the process is being.
And the probability is that if someone, either an investor or institution, has ever bought at 6 naira over a period of time, it might take 1 year, it might take 2 years, this stock will definitely hit that price. Because I think it's an opportunity for even that institution to even buy more at a lower price. Don't you think so?
Of course, that if they are willing, I believe they would have done the volume they want to do at that price, and maybe they are done with it.
But what I have seen as growth in Zenith so far so good today is just marginal 1.4%.
Because of there's so much activities. Zenith is very liquid, where in most of the, just like First Bank, there's hardly any portfolio you see that may not have Zenith Bank. So, and you know, these days with 5%, people were ready to sell. So it's like the moment it's beginning out to sell, people want to cut as much as they can.
Guarantee is also up.
Guarantee also, guarantee is more of a gentleman stock that when guarantee want to go up, there is no, you can't hold it. If it's decide to go up, it will get to wherever I want.
Someone believes that guarantee doesn't have volatility, and so it is not so suitable for you traders.
If we are talking about the guarantee can stay on the price for a very long time. It doesn't mean that it doesn't go up and down. It depends on the market. I have seen where guarantee will go on or offer, but it depends on the market. Guarantee also have volatility.
Lafarge WAPCO, the third quarter result, not good. And then they did right issue the other time. Between the time they did right and now, investors had lost. Everyone that invested in that right issue as of today is recording losses. But I can see the price moving this today.
Because when you look at it, it dropped below 20 naira. This is Lafarge that people to position on 100 naira, 80 naira, 70 naira, 60 naira, 50 naira, and it's dropping below 20 naira. So maybe people even feel at 1750 that it may be too cheap. Maybe they want to return it back to 20 naira. I think one of the things that have bedogged Lafarge is their cost of funding. I think that is that is what they did the right to address. But it seems that if they were unable to write off or pay off every of their debt, because in their quarter three, I see as much as 34 billion cost of finance. I think that is exactly what is wrong with their books.
And I can tell you that at the current price, the last time the market saw WAPCO at about this price was around 2009, when the market was almost at the lowest level. Now, based on this, would you say someone should take the risk investing in WAPCO? Because one thing is very sure, the stock is definitely not, I mean, the company is is not going to die. That much we know. Do you see WAPCO coming below this level and probably coming to 15 naira?
But I am not seeing it. But when if you ask me if I can tell somebody to position in it, yes, depend on the quality of the management. How soon can they get out of this quagmire? If it is something they can do in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, I think at the price of less than 20 naira, WAPCO that I have known before that traded over 100 naira, it's a good buy.
And looking at the name, the age, the asset of this organization, and then you look at what the price is saying now, and great investors like Warren Buffett will often say that if you have the courage to buy downtrodden stocks, quality company, right, the stock is now bad, right? Will you say there is wisdom in just taking some risk, maybe not many units?
When you are an investor, I think WAPCO is good for you, because it's not something that you want to buy today and in 6 months you are reaping. But this WAPCO is something that is a stock that when you take position in, by the time you will be getting at, you'll be making up to 500%.
Let me quickly read out those equities that are currently down on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. They include Unilever, Lasaco. I'm interested in FBNH, right? And Aruna. FBNH, the great elephant or the big elephant, selling at 7 naira 40 kobo. We have seen it coming below 4 naira, right? And then that was sometimes last year. And we saw the terrific turnaround. Now, where do you think the big elephant is coming to? And what will be your opinion? Yes, we know that their earnings was actually lower than our own expectation at around 1 naira 22 kobo. Had made a forecast of 1 naira 30 kobo. That's not bad by any standard, looking at the general financial market. But seeing the big elephant at 7 naira 40 kobo, don't you think that is attractive?
It's very, very attractive, but I can't even see it go below 6 naira. And I have the belief that when the market turns around, if every other banking stock is going up, there's no way First Bank will stay where it is.
So as we speak now, as a matter of fact, let me say, with the indicators I'm seeing here, which includes money flow, which includes Williams percentage, FBH is dwelling at an oversold level. And when equities gets to oversold level, the natural tendency is for it to reverse. Therefore, after today, if this stock does not reverse, if it comes down below 7 naira, it becomes very attractive. Very attractive. And I want to believe that this is one of those equities that if you bought for like probably 680, if you see it down, you continue to buy down until it will get to equilibrium and then reverses. All right? Don't you think so?
Of course.
All right. Looking at those equities that are still down on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I can see UBA also down. UBA is selling at 7.75 kobo. The result is not bad, but why do you think that UBA should be declining?
You know, I have told you that the market normally look at a set of stock as pair. Yeah. You notice that First Bank, UBA, and Access are traded almost at the same prices. There was a day they all closed at the same prices: 7.96 kobo, 7.96 kobo.
Of these three, which one do you think is superior?
Is it in earnings?
In earnings,
size?
relative to
Because
price.
when you are talking about superior, I should give it to First Bank because it's been there all along. But if you talk about earnings, I think it should be Access.
Access is good.
To be Access.
Access is very, very good, particularly when the current earning is juxtaposed with the current price of this equity. But why do you think that the market is currently discounting Access?
But one of the things I want us to also have in mind is not only Access. The market is discounting all the equities. I think it's because of the period that we are. If you see any stock down, that doesn't mean that may actually be the position and the worth of that stock. Is just because the market is slow. Let's check out by January and see where the prices will be.
All right. Fidelity Bank too is declining, because when you talk about UBA, you talk about Access. All right, there are no risks. All right, but in the case of Fidelity and in the bank component of FBNH, there is the risk of NNPC unremitted funds. They will still have to do that, and I want to believe that might be one of the principal reasons why FCMB, which is also one of the financial institutions involved, might want to present an audited third quarter report. What do you think I should do to a stock like UBA now? Do you think I should buy?
At 7 naira, I think it's a
775.
775. If we get to 750, I think it will be a very good buy.
All right. So we will come back to what the market is currently doing. But it is important that we look at what the market did in the month, in the first 10 months of 2018. We have touched on that, but we now begin to take a look at those specific companies one after the other. The first I would like that we talk about is CCNN. All right, Aruna, CCNN started this year at about 9.50 kobo. As at the last trading session in October, it was selling 24.95 kobo. And talking about that growth is 162.63% in a declining market. And then I can see that there is consistency in the earnings performance. From 86 kobo in the first quarter, it grew to 2.07 kobo in the second quarter. We have not seen the third quarter. All right, but the stock, yes, we are hearing about is it Kalama,
Boa.
And they are buying. I think it's 19.8 million units of the other company against about 100,000 of CCNN. All right. But Aruna, looking at, I know you don't do technical analysis, looking at the price performance of this kind of equity, all right, yes, indicators are telling us that the price is at the lowest level, it should reverse, but all this that you see in red, and those were the days the equity price declined, and these ones that you are seeing here are the days or were the days when the stock was just on one spot. So I can say that this equity stayed sometimes so long for quite almost 2 months without moving at all. I guess it's not good for traders because the volatility is
for speculation, yes.
Yeah,
but for an investor, it's very good. I think what is more working for CCNN are both information and performance. Active, all of them joined together that drove the price from where it was to where it is now. But actually, it's not as volatile as for speculators and investors.
So, at this current price now, will you be advising, seeing or hearing what the possibilities are at 20 naira 25 kobo, where it closed last week Friday? Will you be advising me to buy?
If you said the quarter 3 has not come, I want to see the effect of the merger, of the coming together of BOA and CCNN. I want to see the effect on the result. And by the time we see the numbers, then we begin to know whether that value is actually reflecting in their position. Right. Then I can now advise. But the information that will have moved the market is already factored in that price.
Cyanide leasing. If you look at this equity, you might not really know it's gaining, but it has grown 117.5% in 2018 alone. All right, what do you think? We are still expecting the third quarter earning from Cyanide leasing. Also, I can see from 23 kobo first quarter earning per share to second quarter 42 kobo earning per share. Do you think the equity is still viable?
Well, what I've seen for analysis is that the information, whenever they get any information, they release it straight to the market. You know, what the other day we talked about their information, though that was never released to the market when they were talking about reconstruction. It was never on the website of Nigerian Stock Exchange, only published in the paper. Chances are that may have been jettisoned. And what we have seen is they have foray in this place, going here and looking for to widen their scope. I think that is exactly why the market is compensating them at that level.
And in the last 2 trading sessions before today, CCNI leasing actually was up. On Thursday last week, it grew 2%, and also on Thursday it was actually flat, and then Friday it was flat, but 31st was Wednesday, right? If I'm not mistaken, it grew on 31st 7.7%. As we speak, all right. When you said maybe they have jettisoned the share reconstruction,
yeah,
right? I don't think so, because if they have jettisoned it, they ought to have come to the public again to say they have jettisoned it. But they are also preparing for right. And from what we know in this market, for quite a number of organizations, when they want to come for right, it's not a good time for their equity price to drop. What do I have to say to that?
But we saw that of me and Bacon dropping. That was why they stay as long as they can before the 250 kobo they are selling their right is higher than what the stock is doing in the market. So I don't think that it was then when you can place a stock on technical suspension while you are doing a capital market activity that you could say that the price may not drop. I think what this management did is that no matter what capital market activity that you are doing, your stock should be able to reflect what the investors are thinking about it.